Okay, now, write a paper. So, depending on where you went to school, when you went to school, in high school, you might have seen this triangle. This triangle demonstrates an introduction to your paper. So, this part of the triangle is bigger, this part is smaller. It's because you go from broad to narrow, okay? So, your first kind of sentence, it will talk about the kind of larger subject area of what you are talking about. For example, we're gonna write a paper on, let's write a paper on working out, right? Why is it beneficial to work out? That's what our paper is gonna ask. Answer the question is going to be, why is health important? So give me something broad, really broad, not really broad, but broad, that talks about this. Why is health important? Something broad. That's narrow.
Okay.
That's specific.
Prevention of disease.
Prevention of disease, that's narrow as well. That's more specific. We want bigger.
Quality of life.
Say it again?
Quality of life. Better quality of life.
Quality of life, okay. So we can say overall, right? Everybody wants to live a high quality of life, right? That's broad. Now, what's a little more narrow is going to bring us to why health is important. So we want a high quality of life, right? What's going to be more narrow to bring us down to this?
Prevent against disease.
Say it louder.
Prevention of disease.
Prevention of disease, that's narrow, right? Those are the exact reasons. That's still narrow.
Maybe to live more.
To live more, right? Everybody wants a high quality of life, right? Why? So that they can enjoy themselves. On earth and live long. Okay. Health is a key part to having a high quality of life, right? That brings you down. So that's connecting what we really want to talk about to our broad part, right? It connects it. So, everyone wants a high quality of life so that they can enjoy themselves on earth and live long. Health is a key component to living the long, enjoyable life that everybody wants, right? Now, a healthy life is important. Now this is our actual thesis. So a thesis, so we're going from a broad, topic, introduction, to a narrow thesis statement. Your thesis tells me exactly what you're going to talk about, right? So we're answering this question, why is health important, right? We're going to create a statement that encapsulates that, answers that question, and gives me 3 major points that you're going to talk about during the paper. Okay? Say it again. What are the points? Okay, well, what are some points why health is important? We have one here. prevention of disease, that helps you live longer, right? What else?
Complete the, like to fulfill the progress that they are, like the achievements they want to do.
Okay,
So
so,
that the life expectancy can increase and they can carry on that.
okay, so that's what this prevention of disease does, that increases life expectancy. What else does living healthy do to you? Why is living healthy important? Live longer, that's one
To
reason.
save money.
Save money. Save money, you sure?
Yeah.
Save money how?
To make money.
No.
That too, that too. No, that too. If you're healthier, you have the ability to make
So
more
to
money.
achieve
Well,
this.
well, here I know, but back home with insurance, with
Yeah.
medications,
Yeah.
with all these things. Here I know that it's public, but
Yeah, you're right. And to help you make money and achieve success. That's what I thought you were going to the first place, right? Okay, so everyone wants a high quality of life so that they can enjoy themselves on earth and live long. Health is a key component to living a long, enjoyable life. Health, it is important to be healthy so that you prevent disease, two, save money, and three, achieve success. Okay, so now, what do you think I'm going to talk about in my next paragraph?
Describing all the, explaining all the.
Close. That's what I'm going to talk about in the body of my essay. So, let me see how far this goes. Okay. So, if I'm looking at my entire essay, this is the intro. This is an intro. This is the body. And this is the conclusion. Okay? Right? Can you see it? So, this was my intro. We just did the intro. Now, what do you think I'm going to talk about in my first body section? The first point, exactly, preventing disease. Okay, and then the second one, what do you think I'm going to talk about? Saving money. And third one? Achieving success. And lastly, we're going to do the same thing we did here, but we're flipping it. So instead of going broad to narrow, we're going to go narrow. We're going to say one thing about here, one thing about here, one thing about here. Then we're going to broaden it out and say this is how you can live a healthy, long life. Okay? So we'll get into the body, which is very similar. The body is like it's like an argument. This is like an argumentative paper, your essay, right? You're stating something and then you're going to back it up. So, what would be your topic sentence? What's the topic of your first body of knowledge? It doesn't have to be only, this could be 3 paragraphs, this could be 2, this could be 3, it could be 2 paragraphs, this could be 1 paragraph. It's not about length. It's about organizing your ideas. That's what a paper is. It organizes your thoughts and your ideas. Okay? So now, in the first section, what's the topic of what we're talking about? Yeah?
It is important for prevention of disease.
Yep, say it again.
Health
Health is
is important.
important. That's our topic sentence. Health is important. So TS, topic sentence. Health important for preventing disease? Then after that, we need evidence. You can't just throw out a claim and say this is what it is and that's it. Why is it important? Point one. Why else is it important? Point two. Why else is it important? Point three. And then we finish off basically saying, as you can see, based on these three things, health is important for preventing disease. Why? How is health important for preventing disease?
Can you repeat that?
Save money.
How is,
Health,
Yeah.
important for preventing disease.
If you take care of your health, then you are not intended to disease, and that's how you can save money.
We're not saving money yet. We're still here.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
you can keep your body working better.
better
immune system?
to
Stronger immune system.
Yeah.
Because what does your immune system do?
protect your body.
Fights disease. Okay? So, but we can't just say, oh, being healthy strengthens your immune system. I need some kind of evidence, right? So you would go, maybe you look, search online or search in a journal encyclopedia, and it may say, you can find, Google right now, you can Google, are you online?
Yeah.
Google exercise and disease prevention or eating right and disease prevention.
Or do you want me to like?
Give me a fact.
A lack of exercise is a major cause of chronic illness?
I need more detail. Like,
physical activity in the prevention of the most chronic disease.
so give me some, say it again.
Physical activity in the prevention of most frequent chronic disease.
Yeah, so, but give me something like 3 hours of exercises strengthens your immune system or something like that.
Regular exercises reduce large number of health risks.
Like what? Does it say which health risk? So you-
Dementia.
Okay, there we go. So say that
and
again.
cancer.
Say it again.
Regular exercise.
Research shows that, we're gonna make this up, but as it said, something like this. 2 to 3 hours of exercise per week does what?
Reduce large number of health risks.
Reduces one's chances of what disease, what thing?
Dementia and some cancers.
Dementia and some cancers. Okay? So this point, which is a fact from the research, backs up our topic, right? What else? Give me another fact. Did you say one?
Exercise preventing coronary artery disease through exercise training.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll say resistance training, right? For,
Preventing coronary artery disease through exercise training. That's it.
okay, there's gonna be a stat, when you talk about cardiovascular disease, there's a stat that says like 40% of deaths in Canada are due to cardiovascular disease, right? Did you know that? I guess that's alarming, that's alarmingly high, because that's something we can prevent, right? So we could say 40% of deaths in Canada are due to cardiovascular disease. Research shows that 10 minutes of walking per day increases cardiovascular health, therefore decreasing, I'll just put an arrow, risk of cardiovascular disease. getting it? So here's our main point, that these things support our claim, right? So in the end, say it again.
Necessary, how many claims should be like?
So this is our claim, here's our points to back it up. So how many points to back it up? It depends on how strong your argument is. Because what you're saying is health is important for preventing disease, right? If we look back, I would probably say, put this up here. So think about this. Health is important for preventing disease. 40% of deaths in Canada are due to cardiovascular disease. Research shows that 10 minutes of walking a day increases cardio health and therefore decreases the risk of cardio disease, right? So that means that what you could elaborate on, which means go further, which means that if every Canadian walked for 10 minutes a day, we could significantly reduce the number of deaths in Canada due to cardiovascular disease, right? That's another sentence. So now your paragraph goes from here to here, right?
So if you are giving one reason, do we have to explain it or to?
It'd be best to explain it in 2 or 3 sentences, right? Don't just throw it out there and throw it out there, right? The more you have to make it relevant. Because this is what I'm doing. I'm reading, I'm saying, you say this, the topic sentence, I say, okay, prove it. Then you give me a point, and then I say, so what? Research shows that, so what? Research shows that 2 to 3 hours of exercise reduces one's chances of dementia and cancers. So that means that 2 to 3 hours of exercise will reduce mental disease. That answered my question. So what? That answers my question. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask if like, so you know how you put like, for those points, could we use ourselves as an example to kind of support that as well, or like, no, you just want that?
So I'm doing this as a general
Okay.
kind of paper thing. For
Yeah.
your paper, yes, you are the subject. You are the person in question, right? So when you talk about, you have to talk about the trans-theoretical model,
Yeah.
right? So you're gonna say, the trans-theoretical model is blah, 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 blah. It's a 5 stages. Stage 1 is this, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5. I am in stage 3. And I'm gonna say, okay, we'll prove it. I'm in stage 3 because this. So you're giving me proof that why you're in stage 3. Then I'll say, okay, perfect. They identify the trans-theoretical model, they know what it is, they know what stage they're at, they know how to apply it, and that person knows what it means, okay, to them, right? So now, then at the end, like you said, you elaborate, you're saying, if we do 2 to 3 hours of exercise and even walk 10 minutes a day, we could reduce our risk for mental disease and reduce our risk for cardiovascular disease. So that would be your closing sentence. Right? So then I'm like, okay, boom. Now this person, you could go on to the next one, saving money, right? So what's a topic sentence? Topic sentence for our next body.
It's very important that you have a healthy life, to help us